We have our issue-based campaigns where we are now pivoting into our local environmental justice initiative, and that is more access to green spaces within Henry County, and that focuses on land and water conservation. So we have our survey. Our survey is ready. We still have our 12 participants, but we have our first community engagement event coming up on Wednesday the 25th. So we're looking to get more engagement, more survey responses on that day, and we have a couple more engagement events coming up as well. Of course, we are getting ready to have all of these surveys populated and sent into our Board of Commissioners, our Zoning Advisory Board, as well as the Henry County Transportation Planning Department, so that they can add our trail to the T-SPLOST vote in November. So Henry County has to vote on the Henry County Trailway System. Henry County is adding 87 trails to their trailway system, and our trail will be trail number 88. So we are prayerful that with these surveys, we're able to add our trail to Henry County Parks and Rec. That way, it will connect us, our campground area, to the Kellytown area, and then going into Decatur, Georgia as well, DeKalb County. So we're the intermediate right here. So we're looking to be added, and that vote comes up in November. Now, this ties in our environmental justice. It ties into the work we just finished yesterday at the Capitol, which was a part of our reproductive justice initiative. We had our Infant Emergency Preparedness Awareness Day at the Capitol, which was promoting HB 350, which did cross over, but I'll get into our bills that crossed over later. It did cross over. Our bill sponsor, Representative Park Cannon, gave a wonderful presentation and talked about the bill, why the bill is important. And this bill was established to make sure, or to increase the number of first responders that have infant CPR training. Also, a part of our policy concerns is that when mothers leave the hospital with their newborn baby, after delivering their newborn baby, they get a CPR wrap that comes home with them. You know, in that thick old booklet, that folder, that binder that you get after you have your baby with all of your resources and where to find your pediatrician and all that stuff. We want to make sure we send home a CPR wrap with them as well. SIDS and SUID is on the rise. So the reason why this is a concern and how this is binding or tying our environmental justice and reproductive justice issues together is because where we see data centers, we see increased CO2. SUID, infants that suffer and die from SUID, they are suffering and dying from exposure to increased CO2 levels. We are finding this around data centers, okay? So, of course, a part of our land conservation and more access to green spaces within Henry County, we're also campaigning and advocating for no more data centers. If you do not know, the UN has already given us a warning that we are in the era of global water bankruptcy, right? Most of these data centers are using upwards of 6.5 million gallons of water per day. This water is not reusable. So where are we to get this water from, especially in a state like Georgia, where almost half of the state struggle with access to clean water just for everyday human usage, right? We have trouble getting clean drinking water. Clean water to wash ourselves, clean our clothes, etc. So where are we getting all of this water to cool the units at these data centers? Co-location centers, data exchanges as well. So don't let them change up the verbiage on you too, because they'll change the name of it. They'll say, oh, this isn't a data center, this is a co-location center. Oh, this isn't a data center, this is a data exchange. They're doing the same damn thing. So keep that in mind. No more data centers. We have enough. We're running out of water. What do we want? When we were campaigning against Cop City a few years ago, it was, you know, we don't want trees, we just want cops, right? We're cutting down our forests, the lungs of Atlanta, just so we can train more cops. From Israel, by the way. but they're coming from Israel to train here in Atlanta. But we don't want trees, we don't want oxygen, we want more cops. Well, in this scenario is, we don't want water, we just want more AI, right? And it's becoming a growing struggle because more organizations, as we are organizing, are relying and using AI. How can, to keep this in mind too when you're in your meetings, how can we continue to do our great work without relying so heavily on AI? Because it's killing us. Literally, it's killing our infants. It's causing hormonal dysregulation in adults, and then it's taking all of our daggone water. So that's that. To mention that we also started a new initiative from our State of Georgia Legislative Task Force. We have an International Brain Trust where we are looking to gather the Black experience, if you will, to make sure that we are putting together unified talking points. And this is to put us under one umbrella as we are moving forward in resistive as well as organizing measures. So we are saying the same thing on this side of the globe as well as the other side of the globe. So when we have things that are going on in the UK as well as on the continent of Africa, we're able to, connect our web and share out this data, especially in the eyes of what's happening now. So our areas of representation, we have a representative out of California, of course, myself in Georgia. We have one in Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Ile-Ife, Nigeria, and Aburi, Ghana. So we're looking to expand to other places as well. We're talking to someone over in the UK, but pray for us that we butter them up real good. So like I said, we want to make sure that we are sharing our experience, what's going on in real time, so that we don't have to deal with media propaganda and fighting those barriers as well. Now, our bills that crossed over. So this legislative session, we focused on 5 bills. 3 of our 5 bills crossed over. So we are so excited about that. 2 of our 3 reproductive justice bills crossed over. Again, that's HB 350 and HB 291. HB 350 talks about the infant emergency preparedness. HB 291 talks about more community health workers within the state. Again, if you guys remember, back in 2019, I co-authored SB 267, which is the Certified Community Midwives Act. It did not pass. However, this is like our 4th iteration of it, trying to make sure that our community birth workers are legal. We're doing the Lord's work because every mother deserves a midwife. So we're still pushing to make sure that our midwives get certification and recognized by our state. This bill crossed over. And then, of course, SB 34, which was our Public Service Commission not passing the bill of the data centers on to Georgia Power rate payers, that was absorbed into HB 1063. So it did cross over as well. So again, 3 of our 5 bills crossed over. So we're so excited, we're celebrating. That's all we have this week. Thanks, guys.